Well, hello and good morning to everyone. Today we're looking at odd infidelity, and I know that may seem like a really weird statement, but we're going to get right into it because there are so many people who are looking for love in all the wrong places, and unfortunately, there's a lot of women who are dealing with emotional problems. And then later on, health issues because of their level of trust with the people or the individual that they've sought to marry. Today, we're looking at some really unique situations. Now, when you think about infidelity, you're just thinking about, okay, the husband found the wife cheating, or the wife found the husband cheating, or something like that. But what we're dealing with today is odd infidelity as it relates to old fashioned bigamy. Who knew? Who really knew that this stuff was still going on today? I mean, you may have remembered shows or movies or things like that, but we're going to look at a couple of video clips today. As well, we're going to look at the article that we've got here. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first article to you, and then we're going to get into the actual video of some of these situations. Now, this is a man who out of Houston. A lot of the stories, you guys, are coming out of like Houston and Louisiana and, different parts of the South. I can't imagine that this is the only place that's happening. But this guy right here, he is all over the place. All right. A man accused of serial bigamy in Houston, Texas, who posed as a pastor or a bishop at small Black churches around the country was sentenced to 3 years in prison after he was found to have had at least 10 wives whom he married for financial gain. Vanessa Gossin is an assistant district attorney in Harris County, Texas, who prosecuted 51-year-old Orlando Coleman. They told the New York Times that investigators believed that his first marriage was in 2021 and that he traveled to states including Delaware, Texas, Kentucky, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, Iowa, North Carolina, Virginia, and others to find his victims. In an interview in 2021 December, one of Coleman's victims, who asked not to be identified, said that even though they never consummated their marriage, their relationship blossomed quickly. She said that they got married within a month because she thought he was a real man of God. Quote, I just thought he was a real man of God. That's how he portrayed himself. The marriage, however, did not last. She goes on to say, he always wanted me to buy him stuff, but I had bills, the woman said, noting that he also was not interested in sex with her. We slept in separate rooms, she exclaimed. It goes on to say that Gossin told the New York Times that after Coleman falsely introduced himself as a Protestant pastor or bishop to the women he targeted, he would then propose marriage to support his claim to be a member of the clergy. Once the women accepted the proposal, however, he would move in while the woman would be stuck paying for his bills, food, and housing. Quote, that's the only thing that he had to offer, and to validate his word, the proposal to marry. That was something big, Gossin said. Getting proposed to was a big gesture for these women, and that corroborated his guise that he was a godly person, closed quote. When Coleman left the women, some of them would file for divorce and others did not. The fake pastor scheme began falling apart in 2021 when he married two women 5 months apart after he left a woman he married in Virginia in 2021. He married another in Houston. According to court documents, Coleman's wife in Houston discovered that he was receiving money from a woman in Virginia and then contacted her. When she discovered that they were both married to the same man, she contacted the Harris County Sheriff's Department and they investigated and filed bigamy charges against Coleman. So let me just stop for a second because, girlfriend, good morning, Rage. Look, Rage, look. The lady found out that he was married and she didn't start, moving her neck and moving her hand or any of that other stuff. She said, I'm going to get you where your goat lives. I'm going to call the popos. She said, we're going to stop the madness right here. I'm going to get you where you live, player. And she called the popos. Wow, I love it. In July of 2023, Coleman pleaded guilty to bigamy, which is a felony in Texas. He was sentenced to 3 years probation and the chance to have his record clear. 2 months after that, however, he was back to his con. He married a woman in Kentucky while still married to the woman in Virginia. Now, prosecutors subsequently filed a motion to revoke Coleman's probation, and the judge agreed to impose a 3-year sentence on March 11 of this year. An analysis of the Census Bureau data published last summer shows that Black Americans were least likely to have ever married by the time that they're 40. Okay, but that don't mean nothing, because some 46 to 40%, 46 of 40-year-olds who are Black reported that they've never been married, compared to 27% Hispanic, 20% white, and 17% for Asians. Now, all unmarried women face the challenge finding a suitable partner. Okay, a lot of women have found the challenge of getting a suitable partner, but this is highlighted, and it highlighted this challenge, and it's particularly acute for minority women, for Black women especially. Unmarried women from both low, so I don't know why they got to give all this stuff, because some of these women, and I'm not even going to read that part. You know why I'm not going to read that part? Because I know it's not true. I get what they're saying. They're saying that, it's the socioeconomic status and it's all of this other stuff. Here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that a lot of these women who are getting married to some of these con artists, I'm going to click this off, because now what we're going to go into is the actual news feed, the article here. There you go. There you go, player. Watch out there now. Watch out there now. Hey. Oh my God. I don't mean to make light of a sad situation, but the point that I'm making is something about certain cats. You expect the pretty boy, you want to give him a little bit more of a side eye. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because, and I'm being very honest, I don't know whether it's because media has, made us think that way or whatnot, but I just think that sometimes when you see that pretty boy and he falls in love real fast, I just feel somewhere inside of me that it's so.
On this week's Crime Files, we're learning about
you guys, I'm gonna play this for you. So stereotypical that you want to side eye him. Does that make sense? Okay, let's get into this, because this is the story. This is the actual news feed coming from Fox Local out of Houston, Texas. I don't own the rights to this. We're just going to use it. I have to break in and out so that we can use it. But we're going to hear exactly how it ran and how they saw this, the public in Houston. Let's go.
On this week's Crime Files, we're learning about the legality of multiple marriages after a man was sentenced to 3 years for being married to multiple women.
Fox 26's Abigail Dye joining us here to tell us what to expect here this week. Abigail.
Well, spoiler alert, it is illegal to have multiple wives, husbands, spouses, what have you, here in the state of Texas. It's actually illegal throughout the U.S. as well. We have a lot of stories on Crime Files this week, but I did speak to a divorce attorney about the legality around having multiple spouses. And this week's Fox 26 Crime Files. He caught the sentence last week, but this wasn't his first time getting caught. He pleaded guilty to bigamy in 2023 for being married to a Harris County woman and Virginia woman at the same time. And while on probation for that case, he married a third out of Kentucky. The Harris County DA says while under the guise of a traveling bishop, he married 10 women in different states. I sat down with divorce attorney Ruby Bolton, who says it's completely illegal to have multiple wives or husbands here in Texas and throughout the U.S. You say that it is absolutely illegal to have multiple wives, husbands, what have you, here in the state of Texas. What about?
Here's my question. Here's my question for the men that are watching in the replay and that are here. Why would you want more than one wife? Isn't one wife enough as far as, I mean, if you're ethical, I guess this would be an easy answer. Before a guy who's trying to do what this man is doing, it's different. But she said that, basically it's illegal all throughout the United States. But when you think about it, why would any normal man want multiple wives? When they have issues at home, they have to provide for them. They have to take care of everybody. They have to make sure that they're there emotionally for them. And then intimacy wise, all of that. Why would a man even want to do this? Well, I guess, again, it's because of the fact that it is based on the fact that it's illegal and they are running a con. Okay, let's finish listening.
In other states. So multiple wives is polygamy. Multiple husbands is called polyandry. Oh, it's a lot more rare. And both of them are completely illegal anywhere within the United States. Now, there are countries where it is legal. And in fact, there are countries where it's still very common. But here in the United States, not for 150 years or more.
All right, not a lot of gray area there. If you want multiple spouses, you're going to have to get out of the country. And this lawyer says that this man was also using these women for financial gain. And so you can learn more about that on Fox 26 Crime Files when this episode drops on your Fox Local app tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Okay, and again, we're using that just for the purposes of us sharing it and talking about it. I don't own that music. That's the reason why we now have our music in the background, because there's a lot of stuff that's going around in the YouTube streets where, yeah, we can show it, but if they put something in the background, my music got to be there. So it's going to be there for the duration, and I hope that it doesn't disturb anybody. I hope that the music is low enough to where it doesn't rage. Can you tell me if that's low enough now, that music? I hope that it is, but we have to have it. If they've got something going, I've got to cover that. Anyway, let's get into another story. So now the next one is, I think I'm going to clear that out. And is this the one? Oh, yes. We're going to start with the news article first. No, we're going to start with the video first. So let me bring this video up, because look at this. Look at this. I'm saying, you guys, this is so not uncommon. I was sitting here really seriously thinking that this is something that's uncommon. Bigamy. I did not know that there was this many people that were running around doing this. So let's look at this story about a Houston man that's charged with bigamy, and then we'll get into the article that may cover some of the stuff that's not mentioned here. Let's go.
Only on 13, a woman tells us she found out through Facebook that her husband was getting remarried. The only problem, he was still married to her. Now, her husband is facing a rare bigamy charge. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live. Jessica, you heard from the wife. What did she have to say here?
Yeah, according to court records, Marcus Shorten has been married at least 4 times. We found divorce decrees for 2 of those marriages. But right now, Houston police allege that he is married to 2 women. He was charged with bigamy on Monday. Today, he denied being married to anyone.
I feel like I was made a fool of.
For 5 years, this woman who asked that we only use her first name, Tammy, says she was patient.
He says, I didn't want a divorce. I'm getting me some help, Tim. I don't want to get a divorce. I don't want my family to think I'm a failure.
She and Marcus Shorten got married in 2012. She was his 3rd wife, she says. In 2019, they decided to separate and would speak occasionally, sometimes talking about divorce.
One dude, you want to get a divorce? He says, I'll get back with you on that.
Then last December, she was blindsided, she says, by word of a new wedding registry, and she let him know.
I told him, before you let the world know what you're doing, make sure your business is right, correct.
According to the registry, the happy couple got married at the Fifth Ward Church of Christ in January. ABC 13 found that marriage license too.
Were you aware that you were charged with bigamy?
Earlier, our Pooja.
So now the dude's getting married inside of a church. That to me is just criminal in and of itself. So not only are you marrying these multiple women, but for whatever reason, you feel that's the best place to go is to get married in a church. So you're just making it even worse. You're making it even worse. Wow.
Elodia spoke with Shorten on the phone, who told her he is not married to anyone. Charging documents say otherwise. Houston police couldn't find a divorce decree from Tammy. Bigamy is a felony.
Because I knew it was wrong. You not only have destroyed my life, but now you have destroyed somebody else's life and all the parties that's involved in it.
And that's why she says she went to police.
You can't go around lying and misleading individuals at your self-satisfaction.
It's a super rare charge, according to lawyers. She feels betrayed and wants him to answer for what she says he's done.
It's not like you don't know what a divorce is because you've been married several times before.
Jessica, as you mentioned, this is not a crime you hear about every day.
Okay, and we just got through saying the same exact thing. It is not a crime that you hear about every single day. But here are a couple of other instances of odd infidelity where people are not expecting their spouses to do the things that they're doing to them. And then, first off, you find out he's cheating. And then after you find out he's cheating, you find out he's married to others. Odd infidelity is the topic today. So it's not all going to be about bigamy, but it is going to be about really strange occurrences going on in marriages.
Proceedings to end up in court, but to end up in criminal court, well, that's not the norm. But that is the case, however, for a husband who is accused of forging his wife's signature on divorce documents. We first brought you this story last week. Well, new tonight, the husband and wife are talking only to our Taisha Walker. Taisha?
He couldn't take it anymore. He had to literally forge the documents. What would be the purpose in that other than financial gain of some type? I don't know, maybe insurance policies or siphoning off a bank account. Let's find out what she's got to say. This comes from looks like NBC or CBS or one of these affiliates. It doesn't say, but it does say that it's only on 2. So hopefully it'll tell us the affiliate here in a moment.
Dominique, we spoke with Paul Nixon on his way to criminal court this morning to turn himself in. We're also hearing from his wife.
That's Paul Nixon arriving to Harris County Criminal Court to turn himself in, accompanied by his new bride. The 51-year-old was charged last week with aggravated perjury for allegedly forging divorce papers. Did you sign your wife's name?
No.
No?
This is my wife.
You're being charged? Oh, this is your wife here?
This is my wife.
You're Edna? No.
No, that's my ex-wife.
No. Harris County Precinct 4 deputies say Nixon signed his wife Edna's name on divorce documents the day after Valentine's Day. The only problem, Edna says she had no clue.
Wait a minute, Lord, the boy did it the day after. So he did it the day after Valentine's Day. Look at this beautiful lady. I'm sure she's absolutely heartbroken. Oh, boy.
We knew that we were headed toward a divorce. He was living a double life. He posted in May that he married a pastor.
Edna says that's not her signature on the divorce documents.
He forged my signature stating that I lived at a location that I never heard of, and also as well as my phone number. That's why I was never notified by the court.
Nixon's criminal record does include forgery, though the Houston DJ and his attorney say he didn't do it.
He's a legend here, a legendary DJ here in Houston. He was actually on tour. He started receiving multiple phone calls, texts about this matter, got on the first flight here, came out, and we've approached today for a bond.
Edna, who works in the criminal justice system, says the whole ordeal has been embarrassing. She says Paul can officially have her signature.
How badly did you want to get out of the last marriage?
Desperately.
How's the new marriage? How's it working out for you guys?
Perfect. I'm happy. Finally, I'm happy.
Nixon's attorney was able to turn his zero bond into a $25,000 bond. He's due back in court in November. Reporting live from downtown, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel News.
All righty, that's not all we have. Let me just tell you, this is a spirit, and this greedy spirit is running rampant right now. Every single thing that we believe in or that we have or that we hold dear is now under attack. It's now under attack. Marriages are under attack. I don't understand how it really has always missed me. Everybody that follows this channel knows about my life because I started it out being very transparent. We're going to look at this final story, which is absolutely heartbreaking. The final story. But you all know my life here, and I've been very transparent. I have put out a lot of different things about issues that I have experienced. And I've been chronicling all of these things in a, I guess you would say, audio memoir, so that I can turn it over to someone and have them sort it all together and put it, in chronological order, which is the best that I've tried to do. A tale of my life, because when I see these stories, I nervously laugh with you guys, right? I may nervously laugh with you all, but to be candid with you, I shudder because in my life, I have experienced some of the pain that some of these women have experienced, and I understand how it might feel to not only find out that your spouse is cheating, but how horrified someone would be to find out that you're not the only person that they're married to. Let's take it a step further and go into a spiritual context. The spiritual context of it is when they lay down with that other person, that's now their spouse as well. There are plenty of people who may not even get married to somebody else, but they've got a total different identity, a whole nother life. These are the things that I can connect with, okay? And full transparency, these are the things that I can touch and connect with. This is where my heart goes out to women, because love is something that women all want. People want love, male and female. Unfortunately, a lot of women are taken by these type of guys who have the charisma. The first guy we looked at was a pastor. A lot of the women get happy thinking, I've got a pastor as my husband. Why? Because maybe they've been in the church all their lives. You saw the article stated that some of those women got married again after they divorced, and some just never, I should say, some of those women divorced him and some did not. The ones that did not were probably the ones that believe that once you're married, that's it. And I'm going to talk about that too. Please stay around so that you can hear me talk about that. Because over the years, my ideology and my capacity for forgiveness has really altered and it's changed. And so I may say something today that may not line up with things that I've said in the past as it relates to that topic. But let's go on ahead and look at another situation, because this situation is the one that made me put this together. And then we're going to talk about it. And then I want to talk about the brokenness of the woman that we're about to see. If you can just monitor for me her movements and the way that she holds herself, look at how she is speaking to the news folks here.
A Texas woman says she's going through a mix of emotions after learning her husband was allegedly part of a scheme to get a fraudulent divorce. News 10's Rodrika Taylor reports how the husband's girlfriend allegedly impersonated the wife.
Pay close attention to this. Pay close. Everybody that's watching this in the replay, everybody that's here sharing with us now, pay close attention, because it was the mistress who started this ball to rolling.
10.
Tequila Mouton says she and her husband have 2 kids and have been married for 12 years. She thought all was well in her marriage, only to discover her husband allegedly got a fake divorce with her. She says the other shocking part is her husband's mistress allegedly pretended to be her.
I feel like I'm on a Lifetime movie trying to put this puzzle together to see how did it even took place, how did the attorney did the information without my identification.
Mouton, who now lives in Texas, says she has been traveling back and forth to Louisiana, gathering information on how she could be divorced.
My husband did not contact me, told me anything about he wanted to divorce me, didn't tell me that he filed for a divorce. If he wanted a divorce, I would have gave it to him.
She says she never received a subpoena or was present in court proceedings. She tells News 10 she learned of the divorce through his mistress.
You've been divorced. It's public record. Guess what? You seen that ring? Guess what? I'm about to be married to him next. So you can get ready. I'll give you an invitation.
Mouton says according to the state and her...
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to play this heifer's comments one more again. There.
Guess what? I'm about to be married to him next. So you can get ready. I'll give you an invitation.
Mouton says according to the state...
Guess what? You seen that ring?
Learned of the divorce through his mistress.
You've been divorced. It's public record. Guess what? You seen that ring? Guess what? I'm about to be married to him next. So you can get ready. I'll give you an invitation.
Mouton says according to the state and her attorney, she and her husband are still married. However, according to St. Martin Parish, the court did grant the divorce, but it's not finalized. The accused mistress is LaShonda Pope. She was arraigned in Vermilion Parish Courthouse Thursday morning for first-degree injuring public records.
If it would have been done the proper way, but it was not done properly because on the paperwork that I've finally gathered after 2 years, is a whole lot of information on there that is not correct.
She says there was incorrect spelling of names, birthdays, and addresses.
I just want peace and I want justice to be served because anybody that knows the law knows that how long it takes for a divorce to take place, especially with kids. I really don't know how to feel that a person could actually steal your identity and get away with it.
News 10 reached out to Pope and Mouton's husband, who both declined to add comments. We also reached out to their attorney, who declined to comment. In Vermilion Parish, Roderica Taylor, KLFY News 10.
Okay. Here's the skinny. Here's the skinny. The skinny is, did you hear the mentality of the psychopath that presented herself as the wife in court and on documents telling her you aren't married anymore? It's public record. Did you hear this woman literally talking to this lady in this manner on a voicemail? Very smart of her to record it and keep it. But this dodo bird literally did this to this woman. I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I need you guys to all be careful because here's the truth. There are people who don't give a flip about your marriage, about your spouse, about you. And these things could end up being far worse, as noted by a case out of Atlanta, Georgia, almost, I would say 10 years ago, where a woman went to the lady's house who was sleeping with this woman's husband, drugged the lady out by gunpoint, and then drove down the 20, followed by a band of police officers, and let herself go and the woman go. And you know what I mean. What am I saying? The first inclination, and this is my advice based on personal experience, this is a serious topic. Even though, like I said earlier, I nervously laughed through some of this stuff because, hey, guess what? Could be me, could be you. Even though I've laughed nervously, I feel as if this needs to be said because there are a lot of people out there that will harm you, not only the way this gal did, going into a court. She wanted this woman's husband so bad, not her own man. She wanted this lady's husband so bad that she literally risked her freedom to take him. Come on, somebody. Think about what I'm saying. This lady could not get a man on her own. She couldn't get a man on her own because if she could have got a man on her own, she would have told that woman's husband to leave her alone. That's what she would have done. She would have told that woman's husband, hey, look, if you married, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm too good of a woman to have to share myself with you and your wife. You know, I'm not going to be with you and your wife. If you're done with your wife, then we'll chat about it. But until that time, I don't want nothing to do with you. She didn't do that. Instead, now she is facing jail time. She's facing jail time. All because she didn't know how to stay in her place and get herself her own man. But listen, there are women who are right now running around all over social media thinking that it's a great thing to be the side piece. There are men out there making jokes and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you something. Time is winding down for this type of lifestyle. Time is winding down for people stepping on people's heart, treating people like trash. Men that are marrying women that they really, really just want to love her, and she's out here doing all kinds of stuff. Time is winding down. I don't know whether you guys realize it, but time is up for all of the stuff that we just saw on all of these clips, and time is up for people behaving badly. Time is up. So if you're one of the people that are behaving badly after you've taken a committed stance in front of God and country, in front of God and family, and you've said I do to somebody and you out here running run shots on somebody, I'm giving you fair warning. Time is short. And see, here's the funny thing. It does not have to end the way people think it's going to end. Don't have to end with the woman and the other woman having an argument and a fight. Doesn't have to end with, hey, by Justice Branch. It does not have to end with the man and the man having a duel in the middle of the square at dawn. It doesn't have to end like that. It could end with the person that's running around here thinking that they got it all going on, cheating on the woman, cheating on the man, having an accident and never ever being able to be to move again. You see how that works? Karma comes in different ways. You could be driving down the street, sis, and you think you got it going on because your husband don't know what you're doing. Man, get up, go to work every day, take care of you, take care of the house, take care of the children, does everything that he's supposed to do. He's doing a thing. He's doing what he's doing. You think, well, he's just too much of a good guy. He's just no excitement. And you running around here on this man. You better hope that you hope against hope. When you go to stop at that red light, that somebody else does too. When you going through that yellow light, that the people see that light is about to change, that they stop too. You better hope, because it doesn't have to come the way that you think it is. It's not going to end with you and this person that you messing with in holy matrimony. It's not going to end with you divorcing your husband silently, him not knowing you had another man, and then taking alimony from your husband and taking child support from your husband while you run and have another man living in his house that he done broke his neck taking care of. It ain't going to end like that. People think that it's going to end that way. It ain't going to end that way. And sir, for you, historically, lots of folks have died and multiple families pop up at funerals that people didn't know nothing about. How do you think a lot of these people meet their grown siblings? Because Pawpaw was a Rolling Stone. He was a Rolling Stone. The man was a Rolling Stone. But sir, let me tell you something. It ain't ending that way these days. It is not ending that way these days. These days, you got the fella divorcing the wife after she finds out about the other woman and then regretting terribly what he's done. Later, he'll end up with a heart issue. He'll end up with prostate cancer. And then he'll end up dying slowly in regret. Because, see, that's the karma we're dealing with today. It don't have to end with you dying and then everybody finding out and you don't have to hear it at the funeral. See, that's what happened before in the past. You find out that he had multiple people, that he had multiple families, and now you guys are left picking up the pieces and brother man dead and gone. But it ain't that way. So player, while you out here doing your thing, you better remember that disease and that illness, that might be karma. You may not leave here in 2 years. You may not leave here in a year. You may have that thing for the next 10, 20 years. Remember, there's a passage that talks about people going to be trying to let it all go and ain't going to be able to get up out of here. This could be that time frame. My point is this. If you are dealing with someone that we have just got through seeing, count it all joy, sis. Count it all joy, brother. Stay the right way, but get out of it. There you go. Bingo. Oh, tango. That's different than what I said several years ago, ain't it? You know why? Because here's what I think. I think that somewhere along the line, we believe that because we believe in the Most High God, that we have to be the martyr and stay there because we're bound to it. No, you ain't bound to that trash. If this cat, if this joker, if this chick, if this 304, do the math, you'll figure out what a 304 is. If this 304 is out there passing it around like a blunt at Woodstock, if this cat is running around here, the community P, you need to let them go. Run. Run. Why? HIV on the rise, Houston. Syphilis on the rise, Houston, Atlanta. This stuff can kill you. Run, let them go. You were not married once they did their deed and went on about their business. If the person has come and they've repented and it's changed, and the repentance shows you that there's a life behind it that has changed, they are making strides. They're going to counseling with you. You're both on the same page. This person has changed their life. They're no longer doing the things that they used to do. They are no longer shrouding all of their personal, quote unquote, personal stuff. They're transparent. They're going above and beyond to let you feel comfortable with the fact that I know it's going to take some time for me to work this back to your heart. So let me make sure that I do everything that I can to let you see that I'm an open book now. She's turned it around. She's apologized. Her life is different. You guys are closer. You're working through. Stay with that person. Go ahead on, get y'all's exams, make sure y'all straight, because you definitely want to deal with stuff the way that it comes to you and be in reality. I'm talking to married folk here, okay? So I ain't talking to nobody who already a side piece, but I got something for you too. Get your life together. If you are both in concert and wanting to make that marriage work, wanting to be together, then you fine. But let me tell you something. Don't be no fool and run around here and stay with an individual whose lifestyle is not conducive to your health and your mental wellness. Because what'll happen is your mental health turns into physical health issues. And then what they doing out there in the street, and you still trying to hold on to God's unchanging hand, you still trying to, I'm going to just do what I'm supposed to do. I'm still supposed to lay down. Sir, madam, you better keep it all zipped up because you don't know what's out here in these streets. And if this individual is already walking around in a lawless mindset, it ain't no telling what's coming to your doorstep. Gaslighting, manipulation, narcissism, all of these things, they gaslight your mind. You lose your mind. You will go mad dealing with somebody who is a constant liar, that lies as a way of life, that is a narcissist, that is a gaslighter. You will lose your mind trying to convince them that you know what you're talking about. Run. Get out of that. The sad part about it is the individual who's experiencing these things, I'm going to tell you who you are. You are the person that every single body else can rely on for their help, for their peace, for their sounding board, for a listening ear. You are that person. You are the true target. Because if you ain't in the earth realm, every single person that has ever leaned on you don't have nobody to talk to, and nobody knows how their life would be if you weren't in it. This individual that is a vampire at best is not only sucking your life away because they don't care, but they're also putting your mental health in jeopardy, and they're also getting at the people who do confide in you. These aren't users. These are people who confide in you. These are people who care for you, that you care about. So I'm trying to tell you right now today that the odd infidelity that we're talking about is the type of odd infidelity that will take you up out of here. The young lady in the last clip that we listened to, the woman who said, you ain't married to him no more. I looked up her socials. I looked up her social media. And this lady is delusional. She has those bug eyes. You know the ones I'm talking about? The eyes that are like, believe me eyes. She's got those big believe me eyes. Where every photo is like, yes, look at me. I'm doing this. This chick literally believed that by calling this woman and telling her we're getting married now, you're not married anymore. First of all, for her to say you're not married anymore, that was an admission that she's the one who did it. Talking about it's public record. And now you see my ring. We'll invite you to the wedding. Baby, let me tell you something. The problem is people don't care. And the majority of these people have such flip mouths. They got such a flip mouth. I'm going to play that part again. I hope that you guys don't mind. Please indulge me for a second. I want to play that part again where she was saying, we'll invite you. We'll invite you to the wedding. How in the heezy fasheezy are you going to invite me to a wedding and I'm still married? How are you going to invite me to a wedding with my spouse and we're still married? You mentally insane battle axe. You mentally insane battle axe. Yeah, I want to understand that. I'm going to go ahead and get this, but I want to tell you guys something and let it be known here that there is nothing wrong with you forgiving your spouse and you and your spouse getting yourselves together. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong if you are still holding on, believing that this person is going to change, because they're not going to change. That's something wrong with. Okay, so we're going to look at this again. I want to show you guys this again. I hope you guys watched the lady's physical movements, the wife. All right, how the wife looked really sad at how she was explaining she didn't even know she was divorced. She didn't even know she was divorced. She didn't even know what happened. But luckily, the court said that it hadn't gone through. It hadn't been finished. All right, so let's go ahead and look at it again. Look at
A Texas woman says she's going through a mix of emotions after learning her husband was allegedly part of a scheme to get a fraudulent divorce. News 10's Rodrika Taylor reports how the husband's girlfriend allegedly impersonated the wife. It's a story you'll see only on 10.
Tequila Mouton says she and her husband have 2 kids and have been married for 12 years. She thought all was well in her marriage, only to discover her husband allegedly got a fake divorce with her. She says the other shocking part is her husband's mistress allegedly pretended to be her.
I feel like I'm on a Lifetime movie trying to put this puzzle together to see how did it even took place, how did the attorney did the information without my...
Okay, so I want to stop somebody right there. I want everybody to look at her because that's the reason for me playing this again. It's for us to get a gander of her personality, to look at the brokenness of this woman. Now, I want to show you something else, because here's the point that I'm trying to make to everybody who believe that they need to hang on to God's unchanging hand instead of run, hurry up, get out when you see that they are a serial cheater. Look at the difference between this lady then, where you see her there, and here. Look, right here. Okay. Right about there. Look at her. Watch.
Tequila Mouton says she and her husband have 2 kids and have been married.
Do you see her face? Do you see the life in her face here? Do you see the life in her face? Do you see the joy in her face? Now look at her here. Right there.
I feel like I'm on a Lifetime movie trying to put this puzzle together to see how did it even took place, how did the attorney did the information without my identification.
Mouton, who now lives in Texas, says she has been traveling back and forth to Louisiana, gathering information on how she could be divorced.
My husband did not contact me. He told me anything about he wanted to divorce me. He didn't tell me that he filed for a divorce. If he wanted a divorce, I would have gave it to him.
She says she never received a subpoena or was present in court proceedings. She tells News 10 she learned of the divorce through his mistress.
You've been divorced. It's public record. Guess what? You seen that ring? Guess what? I'm about to be married to him next. So you can get ready. I'll give you an invitation.
Mouton says, according to the state and her attorney.
Do you see that? I'm telling you, something make you just want to jump through the phone and not even, you just want to take her and just pop her one good one for the lady. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that? Yeah, we're going to do this. Look at how disrespectful. But see, this is the characteristic of the nutbag that you're dealing with when you out here sleeping and dragging that spirit back home to your spouse. That poor lady's countenance is completely different. Do you see the way that her shoulders are withdrawn? How she's sunk in? How her shoulders are sunk in? How in that first picture while she was with her husband and her kids, she appeared happy. Yeah, I'm telling you something. Time out for this. Okay? The Most High ain't playing with people. Somebody
She and her husband are still married. However, according to St. Martin Parish, the court did grant the divorce, but it's not finalized. The accused mistress is LaShonda Pope. She was arraigned in Vermilion Parish Courthouse Thursday morning for first-degree injuring public records.
If it would have been done the proper way, but it was not done properly because on the paperwork that I've finally gathered after 2 years, is a whole lot of information on there that is not correct.
She says there was incorrect spelling of names, birthdays, and addresses.
I just want peace and I want justice to be served because anybody that knows the law knows that how long it takes for a divorce to take place, especially with kids. I really don't know how to feel that a person could actually steal your identity and get away with it.
News 10 reached out to Pope and Mouton's husband, who both declined to add comments. We also reached out to their attorney, who declined to comment. In Vermilion Parish, Rodrika Taylor, KLF1.
Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. So not only is it identity fraud, the woman filed for divorce. The woman filed for a divorce. Not the wife, the mistress, the mentally insane mistress. Let me tell y'all something. That's a dangerous woman. That chick is dangerous. My gardener's here now, so sorry about the noise. But that's a dangerous chick. Because she's the type of chick that would, pop up and do something to this woman. This lady got kids with her husband. Anything could have happened. And here's the bad part. A lot of these women that are out here sleeping around with these people's husbands, a lot of the women know more about the spouse than the spouse ever even thought of knowing. Sometimes the spouse has no idea, and it's probably a good thing. Okay, I say that because then it doesn't take a toll on the mental. We see the difference if you juxtapose the first picture that we saw, okay, vivacious and full of life, and then this next person that we see who is withdrawn and broken. But that lady is a dangerous person. Talking about her we going to invite you to the wedding, baby. You going to prison. You going to prison because you can't be trusted out here in these streets. So whatever wedding you have, that's fine. You and him go head on, have a great life. And she got multiple businesses. If I was her, I'd go ahead on and sue her with all the businesses for the identity fraud. Liquidate them bad boys. I've been on her sites. I've seen her stuff. This chick literally had businesses. I would drain every single one of them and hit her where she lived, because these are the kind of people who do not learn by just getting out of a circumstance or just getting out of the situation. Okay? All right. That's right, Rage. That's right. And I want to stop for a moment and thank our contributors, somebody who blessed me this morning through CashApp. They know who they are. I want to tell you, you be right on point When the Most High puts me on your heart, you are right on point. So I want to thank you for blessing and for sowing into what it is that we do here on the Lockhart Perspective. I love you and I appreciate you. That's that. I want to make sure I get that out there. But this is the type of circumstance and situation where you will hear me say, run head for the hills. Do not stay involved in this kind of marriage. Do not stay involved in a situation where somebody could darn near kill you and you don't even know. You walking in the house coming from work and somebody's in your house because you don't know what happened to your husband's keys while he over there at this person's house that he not supposed to be. You don't know while he's in the shower or while he's in the back of the house or at this chick's house where he done took and the chick done ran and got a key real fast. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know if the extra car key, you got a set of keys, he got a set of keys, you got a car, he got a car. She know which key is his car. She take your car key off and next thing you know, you got somebody in your back seat. Don't be playing with these demonic people. Lead these demonic people to their own devices. Don't you sit there in no marriage where somebody could take you out. That person that is continuing to do that to you, you leave them alone. How you gonna do it? I'm gonna tell you how you're gonna do it. You better strategize. If you're in a physical situation where they're physically assaulting you, that's a totally different animal of a different color. You need to run out of that and make sure that you call there are several hotlines. I will actually add one to the bottom of this. That's what I'm responsible to do. If I mention it, I will add it to the bottom inside of the description where you can discreetly call and get yourself some help if you are being physically assaulted and you are not safe at home. But if you are in a marriage and you feel like you can't take it no more, you're probably right. Stack your cheddar and bounce. I said it. It was me. I did it. Now, I will also add this. I am not speaking to anyone specific. I'm only giving you my take. I'm only giving you my opinion and my perspective. All right? That's it. But, and this is in no way a counseling session. I'm not counseling nobody. I'm not talking to nobody specifically. I'm making this as a blanket statement because this could be a matter of life or non-life. When your nervous system starts twitching and you feel you get up every morning, you can't feel like you just don't feel like you want to get up. You might be suffering from depression. Your joints are stiffening up on you when you're only 45 and you don't know why, but you're living through this and you don't understand that what's going on in your mental is going into your body. It's coming through your marrow and your bones and it's tightening and stiffening you up. All of a sudden now you got arthritis and you never had it before. Autoimmune diseases start popping up. Baby, let this crap go. There's so many other beautiful people in this world. There's so many other beautiful people in this world. And then if you're like my mindset, who wants to be married again after that? Oh, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me this morning. You guys mean the world to me. And again, I want to thank the individual who did bless me on Cash App this morning. I appreciate you. I thank you. And I just want to say, hey, you know what? Life is too short. Enjoy life while you can. If you're like me, I hugged a tree the other day and it felt so good. If you're like me, I walked around in the backyard barefoot and it felt so good. I played with my animal, played with my pet, talked to him. He's crazy as all get out, but I felt good. Do those things that you know that you like to do. Do you like to fish? I love to fish. Go fishing. Do you like to walk in the park? Go walk in the park. Do you like to just sit with a bag of popcorn on a park bench and watch people because it's hilarious to you? Then get your popcorn, boo-boo. Sit on that park bench and breathe. Do not allow anybody to put you in a trick bag to make you think that because you've taken a vow with somebody, you have to stay in trash and in squalor. A marriage that is literally squalor. And then, if you're of a certain age and you've already got your children and you decide that you don't want to be married again, don't let anybody browbeat you and make you think that you have to be. Conversely, if marriage is something that you do want, make sure that you get yourself in a situation where you are available for that. Get yourself into counseling. Sit down and have a counselor. Take yourself 6 months and let the counselor help you iron out some of those kinks. realize some things about yourself so that you don't bring that into the next situation or circumstance that you elect to put yourself in. And then I want you to do one important thing, and that is remember the signs that you overlooked and ignored in the last situation you were in, because each and every one of us get a check inside of our gut. Everybody does. Everybody does. Detox while you're going to that counselor so that you clear out that pineal gland so that the next joker or chick that looks slick come up to you, you can go ahead and identify danger, stranger danger, stranger danger. Clear that pineal gland out so that you can realize stranger danger. I want to tell each and every one of you that I appreciate you, and I also want you guys to remember what we always say here on this channel, and that is that man shall not live alone. He shall not live alone. He shall not live by bread alone. He should not be out here scooching around with everybody, and the chick shouldn't be out there scooching around with everybody. You should not do any of those things. But you guys should live by the word of the Most High. Period. Take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Then you can reach around and take care of everybody else once you go to that counseling. Once you get yourself up out that trash marriage. Once you get yourself away from that man or that woman. Then you can take care of everybody else around you. Take a cruise, do something. Go see somebody you ain't never seen before. Go to a concert. You know, who would I love to see if I could go and see them? Somebody I ain't never seen before. Dave Matthews Band. Yeah, Dave Matthews. I love Dave Matthews. I would love to go to a Dave Matthews concert. Go see somebody you ain't never seen before. Go relax. Be you by yourself. Learn to love you. Because if you do that, everybody else, they're drawn like a moth to a flame to somebody who has a lot of, charisma within themselves. Peace. Hey everyone, it's me, Felicia, of the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. I want to tell you a little secret. This is what I used to do, because I don't do it anymore. I would go to the store, buy the barbecue sauce, pour it inside of a bowl, put a whole bunch of different spices, a dash of brown sugar, a dash of maple, and a dash of mustard, stir it all around, and everybody would be like, oh my gosh, this is the best, this is the best. But I was exhausted after all of that, and a lot of times I couldn't remember how many dashes of what I put in it. But I don't have to do that anymore, because now I just go to Judge Joe Brown's website and I order his 3-pack of bottled barbecue sauce. It is by far the best, and I do mean the best barbecue sauce I've ever eaten. And when you go to his website and you order his 3-pack, you'll see exactly what I mean. Head on over to jjbbbbq.com and order Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce. You'll be glad you did, and you're going to tell me about it. I know you will. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping